Hello everyone, my name is Genesis Aurora Martinez Puros and I'm going to talk about the social class and work. So I hope you can enjoy this little video. So as we can read in this paragraph, as should be evident, it is not easy to determine how many social classes exist in the United States. Over the decades, sociologists have outlined as many as six or seven social classes based on such things as one's gain, education, occupation, and income, but also on lifestyle, the schools people's children attend, a family's reputation in the community, how old or new people's wealth is, and so forth. So, as we can read in this little line, so sociologists have outlined as many as six or seven social classes, but really there are four social classes in the United States. The first one is the upper class. So in the United States consists of about 4% of all households and possess much wealth, power, and influence. So some scholars will raise the end further by limiting the upper class to households with incomes of at least $500,000 or so, which in turn reduces this class to about 1% of the population with an average wealth of several million dollars. So members of the upper class have all money that has been in their families for generations. Some boast of their ancestors coming over on the Mayflower. They belong to exclusive clubs and live in exclusive neighborhoods, have their names in the social register, and their children to expensive and send their children to expensive private schools, serve on the boards of museums, corporations, and major charities, and exert much influence on the political process and on other areas of life from behind the essence. So we're going to continue with the middle class. So the upper middle class in the United States consists of about 4% of all households with incomes ranging from 150,000 to 199,000. In the middle class includes the 46% of all households whose annual incomes range from 50,000 to $200,000. So as this very broad range suggests, the middle class includes people with many different levels of education and income and many different types of jobs. So people in the upper middle class typically have college and very often graduate of professional degrees, live in the suburbs or in a fairly expensive urban areas, and they are bankers, lawyers, engineers, corporate managers, and financial advisors, among other occupations. So the working class, the working class in the United States consists of about 25% of all households whose members work in blue-collar jobs and less skilled clerical positions. So they generally work in blue-collar jobs such as factory work, construction, restaurant serving, and less skilled clerical positions. So people in the working class typically don't have four-year college degrees and some don't have high school degrees. Although most are not living in official poverty, their financial situation is very uncomfortable. A single large medical bill or expensive car repair will be almost impossible to pay without going into considerable debt. Working class families are far less likely than their wealthier counterparts to own their own homes or to send their children to college. So many of them live at risk for unemployment as their companies downsize by laying off workers even in good times. So the last one is the lower class. The lower class or poor in the United States constitute about 25% of all households, and many poor individuals lack high school degrees and are unemployed or unemployed only part-time. So although lower class is a common term, many observers prefer a less negative sounding term like the poor, which is the term used there. So the poor have household income or under $25,000 and constitute about 25% of all USA households, as I said before. So many of the poor like has high school degrees and many are unemployed or unemployed only part-time in same skill or unskilled jobs. When they do work, they work as janitors, house cleaners, migrant laborers, and show shiners. They tend to rent apartments rather than own their own homes because it's so difficult and almost impossible for them, lack medical insurance, and have inadequate diets. So I hope you had understood this little exposition about social class and work, and have a good day.